My name is Kara Picou, and today I'll be doing my demonstrative speech about bees and honey. But before I begin, I want to introduce my audience. Denise, Terry, Logan, Michaela, and Kristen. Bees and honey, it has been around for thousands of years. You drink it in your tea, and you spread it on your bed, and you have made it in medicine. But honey isn't about humans. It's made from one of the most important animals on this planet. In this speech, I will show you the process of honey, and I'll be going over how bees get their honey and process it, and the importance of bees, and lastly, how humans come into play with honey. A thick golden liquid produced by bees, honey is made using the nectar of flowering plants and is saved inside the beehive for eating during times of scarcity. But how do bees make honey? Nectar is a sugary flavored liquid that is extracted from flowers using a bee's long tube-shaped tongue that is stored in an extra stomach. Right here, where it shows, this is where it has its tongue, where it leads to its second stomach, which I'll be going over, where it doesn't actually go to its digestive system. While sloshing around in its extra stomach, like I just showed y'all, the nectar mixes around with enzymes that transform its chemical composition and pH, making more suitable for long-term storage. The tongue is covered in tiny hairs that has pores in them. Molecules pass through these pores and stick to sites on the sensory cells, which allows the bee to taste and smell. The honey stomach, which is the extra stomach, is located in the abdomen, and it is just a cuticle-lined bag with a long neck located as its mouth parts. When the honeybee's stomach is full, it can take up as much as 90% of the abdominal space and hold 90% of the body weight. It allows the bee 40 minutes of flying time to get back to the nest before too much of it goes to its own digestive system. When a honeybee returns to the beehive, the bee passes the nectar to another bee by passing the liquid into another bee's mouth. This passing on process is repeated until the partially digested nectar is finally deposited into a honeycomb. And once in the comb, nectar is still a viscous liquid, which is the opposite of what we used to eat with. To get all the extra water out of their honey, bees start fanning out the honeycomb with their wings to speed up the process of evaporating the water out of their honey. With the most of the water has evaporated from the honeycomb, the bee seals the comb with a segregation of liquid from its abdomen. After the process is complete, it starts to harden into beeswax. Away from air and water, honey can be stored for a very long period of time, providing bees with the perfect food source for cold winter months. Bees are some of the hardest working creatures on the planet, and because of their work ethic, we owe many thanks to them, to this amazing yet often underappreciated insect. Many people think of the bees simply as a summertime nuisance, but these small, hardworking insects actually make it possible for many of your favorite foods to reach your table. From apples to almonds to the pumpkin in our pumpkin pies, we have bees to thank. Bees are available throughout every growing season and pollinates very wide ranges of crops, for example, almonds, apples, avocados, cucumbers, melons, pears, and many more. Keeping bee populations safe is critical for keeping American table stocks with high quality produce in our agriculture sector running smoothly. Although honeybees produce honey, they serve a more important role as pollinators. Everyone knows that honeybees make honey, but their tribute doesn't end there. The economic importance of honeybees is due to the products they produce as well as services they perform. Our lives in the world as a whole would be a much different place if bees didn't exist, because they're responsible for pollinating 1/6 of the flowering plants species worldwide and approximately 400 different agriculture types of plants. Since honeybees perform an essential job in pollinating a wide range of farm crops, vegetables, fruits, and wild plants, without them, crops would be greatly reduced. Not only would the yield of many crops be greatly reduced, but the many birds would have less food to last the winter. Bees aren't the only ones that with a sweet tooth. Humans, bears, and other animals have been raiding the winter, storing off their winged friends to harvest honey. Sugars become widely available to the 16th century. Honey was the world's greatest sweetener, with ancient Greece had its best known historical citrus of honey production. Lucky for us, bees make more than honey than the colony needs, and beekeepers remove the excess and bottle it regularly. and organic honey. As you can see, honey is used for a lot of popular products such like Honey Nut Cheerios. Not only do we use honey to satisfy our sweet tooth, but we also use it for skincare. Honey can go as far as lips, moisturizer, and even give yourself a facial. Raw honey is incredible for your skin thanks to its antibacterial. Now that I've gone over the bee itself, the process of the honey, and lastly how humans come into play with bees, that concludes my speech about the bees and honey. With that being said, knowing about honeybees and their importance to our economy is very important because soon global warming will have a bigger effect on our sweet honeybees. Maybe next time you see a campaign about helping our bees, you'll make a donation and help them keep it around. That concludes my speech, but before I end, I will introduce my audience one last time. Denise, Terry, Logan, Michaela, Kristen.